Welcome back to the channel. Today we look at part 5 in our ongoing series on the recruitment and selection. We specifically focus this video on the interviewing of candidates. So, how does this process unfold? Do note that all shortlisted candidates must receive similar treatment during the interviews. It is therefore important that the interview questions and interview processes are standardized as it relates to the post to be filled by the education department. So let's look at how do we act before interviewing candidates. Do note that all members of the selection committee and the governing body of the school concerned must not talk about any of the shortlisted candidates outside of any meeting of the governing body or any meeting of the selection committee, and must not talk to a shortlisted candidate about another shortlisted candidate. All members of the selection committee must not prejudge any of the shortlisted candidates and must approach the interview process with an open mind. All members of the selection committee must respect and preserve the confidentiality of any discussions held by the committee in respect of the recruitment, selection, and appointment process. So let's look at what you need to prepare for the interviews. The selection committee must ensure that all interview questions are determined and finalized before interviews are held. Do remember that all interview questions must be consistent with the post requirements and selection criteria. Each member of the selection committee should be given a specific task to perform during the interviews. For example, introduce the panel to each of the shortlisted candidates at the start of each interview, or explaining the interview process up front to each of the shortlisted candidates. Also, ask the interview questions according to a pre-arranged plan and provide each shortlisted candidate with an opportunity to ask questions. The selection committee must ensure that enough time is allocated for each interview. Interviews should not be rushed, and the same amount of time should be allotted to each of the candidates being interviewed. Remember that each shortlisted candidate must receive similar treatment during the interview process. The selection committee must schedule the interviews in a way that does not let shortlisted candidates meet or interact with each other. Members of the selection committee must have annotated copies or summaries of the shortlisted candidates' documents in front of them during the interviews for purposes of referencing. Originals and copies of all documents relating to shortlisted candidates must be kept safe, treated with the strictest confidentiality, and accounted for at all times. This brings us to the end of this video. In our next video, we will look at the steps to be taken during and after interviews. In the meantime, please subscribe to this channel and click the notification bell so that you are alerted to new videos loaded onto the channel. We will see you soon. Goodbye.